Now, talk about what's good about Fresno and Clovis and the Valley. We have a special guest today. I'm probably going to get his name wrong because I often do. Shawn Beaty?
Yep, that's it.
From
Nailed it.
Clovis Hills.
Yes.
Is it Clovis Hills Community Church or something?
Clovis Hills Community Church.
Very good. And that's out by Clovis North. The reason I know is I just asked you before we came on. And you've been there a while?
You know, I've been at the church about 4.5 years.
Okay. That's a long time. And
yeah.
So you really know the... Are you from Fresno, by the way?
No, I'm originally from San Diego.
Okay.
I moved up here 4.5 years ago.
So you must have quite a calling to move from the most beautiful place on earth to close to the most of the beautiful place.
It was definitely a calling, but really grateful to be here, to be honest. I've fallen in love with this part of the world.
Yeah, Fresno. I love Fresno. I've had many chances to move, and I have moved, and I came back because I love it. So.
Yeah.
How can you give us some background about yourself?
Yeah, you know, I grew up in San Diego. My father was a Marine, and he retired there in Oceanside. So I grew up in North County of San Diego, and spent my whole life there. I went to college there. Ended up I was a musician. Did a couple albums and toured and did all that, and then really felt the call to ministry, and ended up going to seminary, starting a church down in Oceanside. And it was while I was there in Oceanside, pastoring that church, I got the call to come to Clovis, and haven't looked back.
Now, was Clovis Hills already started up when you got there?
Yeah, Clovis Hills had been going for 20 years.
Okay.
And the founding pastor had called me and asked and said, hey, would you consider coming and being the next, doing a transition, a leadership transition.
And where did you go to college?
You know, I went to Point Loma Nazarene College.
Oh, sure.
You know, and then I did my graduate work. I did my master's at Bethel Seminary. Okay. And then I did my doctorate at Golden Gate Theological Seminary.
That's in San Francisco.
Yeah.
I just guessed that.
Yeah.
Now, at Nazarene, you're a music major.
I didn't. My father talked me out of majoring in music. Yeah. He said, you know, you might have to get a real job if you're a musician. So I did liberal studies and organizational psychology.
Oh, good. Now, what was your music, your instrument? Or?
I was a guitar player, and believe it or not, I was in a Christian punk rock band called Dogwood. Wow. And we did a couple albums and toured before I left the band to go into seminary.
Yeah. And just a little background. Coincidentally, I have a master's degree in guitar.
Oh, well, there you go.
And I had to get the day job.
I did. I was looking at your guitars over there. So
my son, we tried to get him into Point Loma, and he's a musician. All my kids are musicians, all music majors. Yeah. They're doing good. They're doing excellent. And one thing I can tell you for sure, they're not watching this show. And then now the first church, you started it from scratch?
Yeah.
How did that go?
You know, it's very hard to start a church. Yeah. And it's called Generation Church, and it ended up, it did really well. It's a great church today, and it's in a building that, you know, we ended up merging with an older church, and they meet in a building. I was 4 blocks from the beach. Let's just put it that way. Like, life was good. Church was full, and living 4 blocks from the beach. Yeah. Church was 3 or 4 blocks from the beach, and
nice. Now, how did you start it in a building or a rental or a school?
You know, most churches nowadays typically start in a school.
I think Clovis Hills might have.
They did. They started at Alta Sierra Middle School and grew to over 1,000 in that middle school. It was pretty amazing. Yeah. And that's how I had heard of Clovis Hills when the pastor called. So mine started in elementary school, a little humbler. We grew it to about 100, and then we moved into a storefront. We did that for a while, and then we merged with this older church, and they had a building. And when we did that, our church tripled in almost a year. It did really well.
Wow, that's great. Well, tell us about Clovis Hills. Who can go there?
You know, Clovis Hills is a great church. It's really for anyone. And there's a value there that I inherited when I took the church, and I loved it. It was probably a value I have deep in my heart, but I didn't know how to say it. And at Clovis Hills, we call it open acceptance. And really what it means is we don't care where you've come from. We care where you're going. So you'll find all kinds of people there. You'll find, a guy might be a surgeon sitting 2 seats over. There's a dude with a teardrop tattoo on his eye that, just got out of the pen. And somehow there's this beautiful mix of people of all socioeconomic and even racial barriers, and somehow they come together and call themselves the church, and it's pretty cool.
Are most of them from that, I guess you call it North Fresno, that area? It's not really Clovis, I don't think.
Yeah, well, we're on the border of Fresno and Clovis. Our street literally is.
It's all right.
And, there's a good amount from that North Fresno area, but because it's a larger church, it's regional, so people come from all over the city and, even the foothills and places like that, yeah.
It's easy to reach.
Yeah.
Because the freeway's not too far. The 41. Whenever I go to Clovis North High School, I take the 41 and cut over.
Yeah. So that's the good news about Fresno is that everywhere is easy to reach. There's not a lot of traffic, and it's pretty awesome.
We complain. Those of us from Fresno complain. Those from San Diego and L.A., they say you guys have nothing to complain about.
Yeah, it's awesome here. Let's just put it that way.
When are the services?
Our services, our regular Sunday services are at, we have a Saturday service at 6 p.m., and then we have a 9 a.m. on Sunday and a 10:40 on Sunday. And then for Christmas, we have our Christmas Eve services, which are going to be awesome. And we have a 4:30, a 6 o'clock, an 11:30 at night.
Oh, boy.
And then we'll have a special Christmas morning service at 10:40.
10:40. And are you going to do all of them?
I'm going to be leading all of them. There'll
goodness.
be 3 different messages. The 11 or the 4:30 and the 6 o'clock will have a special message, and that's kind of the big one. And then our 11:30 service is really like an old school, like midnight mass. If you grew up Catholic or Episcopalian or something like that, there'll be a different message there. Obviously shorter because you don't want people falling asleep on you.
On you.
Yeah, on me. And then Christmas morning is another message as well. And we're actually giving a free gift to every kid that comes too, like a little wrapped present. It's kind of fun.
Yeah. Some people go to multiple,
Yeah, there will be people that go to all 3.
Yeah, we used to do it, go, stay all day and go to all the services at our church.
Yeah.
Now, do you have so after Christmas now? Before you go, I'm going to ask you to restate when the Christmas services are.
Okay.
But the regular ones are at 9 and 10:40.
Yeah.
On Sunday.
Yeah, on Sunday, 9 and
night?
10:40, and our Saturday night. It's the same service, same message, same music, and it's at 6 o'clock on Saturday. So yeah.
And who is leading your music ministry?
I have a guy. His name is Pastor Joseph Rangel, and he's been there 5 years. And ironically, he was from Oceanside as well.
Did you know him down there?
We didn't know each other. And then when I got to Clovis Hills, and he told me where he was from, we ended up knowing hundreds of the same people. Though it was really cool.
Interesting. Okay, so any week, if you're looking for a church, what do you call it?
Open acceptance.
Acceptance. Go to Clovis Hills. Try them out. I've heard only good things. I know a lot of people who go over there. I always hear Clovis Hills is, Clovis Hills that. So at 9 or 10:40 on Sunday mornings, and then Saturday night would be what time?
At 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. And anything before or after, like free donuts or coffee?
Oh yeah, there's always free cookies, donuts,
I didn't
coffee.
mean to say free. I meant to say, are there donuts? Or
No,
coffee?
it's free though.
But free is good. That's good.
Yeah. It's free is for me, right?
Yeah. That's right.
So
One thing I want to say is we see a pastor maybe once a week for an hour and 20 minutes or whatever, and we think, wow, he's got a pretty easy job. But I know how hard pastors work. It's like you work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So.
Yeah, it's not just Sundays that we work.
And the music pastor, too. I mean, they work day and night. So it takes a lot to prepare the whole
He gets after it. And, he's not just preparing for Sundays, too. We have, stuff going on during the midweek. We have... we have a couple hundred students on our campus on Wednesday nights, and he's helping them do music. He's mentoring them. He's training them, sometimes playing, but for the most part, he's pulling the strings on that program as well, too. So lots going on.
And do you have kids programs, Awanas, or anything like that?
We do. We have kids programs, obviously going on during the service. I believe we have some of the best children's programs in the whole valley, and it's not to disparage other churches. There's a lot of great ones out there, but ours are just exceptional. And our family pastor Scott Hinman runs those. But during the week, we have a midweek program for grades 4, 5, and 6. It's called Pure 4, 5, 6. On Wednesday nights, we have a junior high program for 7th and 8th graders that same night, and then a high school program called The Source for high schoolers. And they're all meeting on campus and kind of in age-appropriate groups. And then we also have stuff for mom and dad while they're there. We do parenting classes. We do, Bible studies for men, for women. It just depends on the time of year.
That's what I mean. Pastors, people don't know how hard they work. Now, you're in church and you're giving your sermon and somebody's phone rings like mine just did. You got a special message for them?
You know what? Nothing but grace, because I've literally had my phone go off while I was preaching. So, I mean, I can't get mad at anyone else.
I'm the boss here, so it's a little easier, but these guys would be in trouble, so they're going to give me plenty hard time after.
And rightfully so, right?
Now, is there a website or someplace somebody go check it out?
Yeah, you can go to www.clovishills.com.
Okay. And now, we want to get, and the reason we invited a lot of pastors in this week, we just want to, again, say when and where can somebody go this week. Before we do that, is there anything you want to add or say about the church?
You know, it's been an incredible joy to be the pastor there. It's a great group of people. It's a large church. There's probably a couple thousand people that would call that their church, but in many ways it feels like a small church. And I've pastored small churches, and people are really friendly. They tend to get to know you if you're willing to be known, and there's just a lot of great people there, and there's some powerful life change that's going on there too. So if you're looking for a change in your life, you're looking for really a place that can help you kind of take that next step in your life spiritually, so that you can be the person you were created to be. Clovis Hills is a great church to do that. Yeah.
We had one pastor. We have shows. Pastors have shows here, weekly shows, and we have a whole faith-based network, and then we have our general network. We always try to put the pastors on the faith-based network, and one of them said, "No, Mike, I don't want to reach the religious people. I want to reach the sinners. That's who we want to. That's who we want to reach. So anybody can go to your church, no matter what your condition in life, no matter what you're going through, what you've been through.
It is, and I can pretty much guarantee you'll fit in somewhere that you, and we're actually this church was started when the founding pastor Steve Davidson, he was in seminary, and they took a class where they asked all the seminary students to go hang out in a bar for a week and just interview people and ask them, hey, do you have a church? And if they said yes, it was like, oh, okay, cool, awesome. But then if they said, hey, do you go to church? And they said no, they said, well, we're seminary students, and we were just wondering, could you just give us reasons why you don't go to church? And then, they gave all kinds of reasons, judgmental, hypocritical, on and on and on. And they just took notes. Yeah. And Clovis Hills was birthed on that, and they've always had the slogan, if you hate church, try Clovis Hills.
I like that slogan. Okay, now we're going to wrap up by restating when and where somebody could go this next couple of days as we're coming up to Christmas.
Yeah, our Christmas Eve services are obviously on Christmas Eve, and they are at 4:30, 6 o'clock. We have an 11:30 special kind of midnight mass that we do, our Protestant version of it. And then we have a Christmas morning at 10:40, and if you go to that, there's a free wrapped gift for all the children, 3 years and over.
That is wonderful. Changing lives, Clovis Hills. This is Central Valley Business. We'll be back with more right after this.